right. Well, thank you everybody for coming. My name's Annette Jones, and I'm one of the wellness advocates that are here presenting our wellness education series to all of our wonderful customers. It's been, how many of you guys have come to one of these continuing education classes live before? I know a couple of you have. Some?
Yeah, I think a lot of you I've seen on other classes. So welcome, welcome.
Oh yes, awesome. Well, I'm really excited to teach this one. Symphony of Cells is one of my favorite tools, essential oil tools to have in my back pocket, and I really love. It's a new thing that a lot of you probably don't know much about, so I'm really excited to be able to share with you. Let me get myself situated. Sorry. Okay.
You're good.
So first off, Symphony of Cells, what is it? It's kind of a funny name, right? Well, the Symphony of the Cells is a collection of 21 essential oil applications. And these applications were created by a man named Boyd Truman. He's actually a doTERRA Presidential Diamond. I know he has a higher title than that, but he's, you know, top of the company kind of guy, right? I don't know, Amy, what is he? Like, is he a double diamond?
Yeah, I think he's double diamonds or double blue, one of those, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, he designed these to create a harmony physically, emotionally, and spiritually within the body. So this is a technique. They're a series of applications that gives you instructions on how to put oils on the body to create that harmony with those parts of your body, right? Physical, emotional, and spiritual. Using his 30 years of background in the wellness industry and knowledge of working with the human body and experience using pure therapeutic grade essential oils, he's put together these applications that we all can access and use and reap the benefits for ourselves, for our families, and for people that we are working with, right? Each of the applications that are formulated, they are created to target different body systems and ailments, and can be performed on you can do it to yourself and you can do it to other people, okay? So it's a specialized technique where there's a series of oils that are applied one at a time so that the synergy of the oil supports different body systems to create balance and harmony in the body. And when your body has that balance and harmony, it's like it has the best conditions to heal or to be healthy, right? So each application is designed to address a specific body system. So our body is like a symphony. That is what the name comes from, right? We have a total of 10 body systems that are interconnected, and they're dependent on each other to carry out their function properly. So we've got the circulatory system, right? That's your blood, your heart, and that circulates throughout your whole body. You've got your digestive system. You've got your emotional or limbic system, which is like your brain, right? And that's what communicates through your whole body also. Your endocrine system, which is your hormones and reproduction. You've got your immune system. That's what fights illnesses or something that's invading your body. I can never say this word. Okay. What's the skin one called? Integument. Oh my gosh, I can't say it. Integument. What is the word? Can someone say it?
I never know how to pronounce it either.
You said it. Call it skin or epidermis.
Integumentary is correct. You said it.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. I was like looking at the word going, oh my
sorry,
gosh.
I can't help you there, Annette. I'm so sorry.
I didn't practice how to say this, but what that means, that system is your hair, your skin, your nails. So hair, skin, and nail system. Then you've got your nervous system, right? Your respiratory system, which is your lungs, your sinuses, oxygen circulating through your body, your muscular skeletal system, which is your bones and your muscles, tendons, all that, and then your urinary system. So some examples of how these are intertwined. So, you know, like your heartbeat, it requires electrical impulses from the brain and the nervous system to signal it to beat, right? So that's three systems working together to make one process happen. Or like, for instance, sorry, let me go back. Or for instance, Your skeletal system, it requires nutrients gathered from the digestive system to build strong and maintain healthy bones, right? Or another example might be your respiratory system. It needs the circulatory system, the blood, to gather and deliver oxygen throughout your body. When there's disease in one body system, it disrupts the body's delicate balance and how it works all together. It affects it negatively, and it can affect other body systems and cause all kinds of ailments. So when there's a condition in our body called homeostasis, and that is when all the systems are working together as a whole internally to maintain internal stability, okay, and balance to the body. So an example of this is our gut biome, right? When your gut biome is off, it often affects your emotions or your energy, right? So each condition that we experience is connected to a body system. So when you perform a Symphony of Self application to address a condition, I'm talking a condition like an illness or a symptom that you're experiencing or something like that, right? When you perform a Symphony of Cells application to address that condition, you're treating not only the symptoms to, help support your body in tackling the symptoms that you're experiencing to make you more comfortable, but you're also addressing the underlying causes because of that symphony, right? Because you're supporting a body system to help it get back into alignment, back into balance, so everything works perfectly like a symphony, right? Getting their system back online to play its role in the body's symphony. So each protocol consists of a series of oils layered in a specific order on your back and on your feet. Okay, so you might be thinking, why do you have to put them on your back and your feet? So you put them on your spine because oils actually quickly hit the nervous system cells that go out to the rest of the body and communicate to all the other systems. And they all come to, you can reach all of those nervous, all of the nerve endings, all of the nervous system. Oh my gosh, receptors, the word I'm trying to find out of the air. All are in this class, right? Thank you. It's going to be a fill in the blank kind of class. And so the spine is a perfect place to apply that oil for it to be communicated throughout the whole body. Also, pathogens tend to hide out in spinal fluid. So by regularly applying to the spine, there is a greater likelihood to catch an illness or symptom before it even starts, which is kind of cool, right? And then the feet, one of the reasons why we do it on the feet is one, that there are multiple reflex points that correspond to all other parts of the body on the feet. Has anybody ever looked at a reflexology map of your feet and seen that there are places on your feet that correspond with like all your different organs or different areas of your body? And when you apply oils to your feet, it is affecting that whole body. Yes, exactly. Our feet also contain some of the largest pores in our body, and it allows for really quick absorption and that oil to get circulating through your body quickly. Has anyone ever done the experiment where you put garlic in your shoe? Anybody ever had a kid who did this as a science experiment? Where you can put garlic in your shoe, like put garlic in your sock, right? And within 30 seconds, you can taste garlic. That is how quickly things can absorb through our feet and be circulating through our whole body. You should try it if you've never tried it. It's really kind of cool. A Symphony of the Cells, yeah, definitely try it. It's kind of funny. Symphony of the Cells is a quick application. It really only takes, this is one of the things I love about it, is because it takes like 5 to 7 minutes. It's like super easy to do. There's no special technique that you need to know. And the benefits, because the benefits are all in the order, in the oils themselves and the order that you put them in. And everything you need to know is in the booklet. I'm going to show you here in a second what the booklet looks like. But you might be asking, so how often do you do Symphony of Cells? Like, how do you know how often to do it? Well, when you're wanting to use Symphony of Cells for prevention or just like healthy maintenance, because you can do it on a regular basis, you might do a Symphony of Cells once a week, just as self-care. And you could pick there, like I said, there's 21 different applications. And there are ones, so this is what the book looks like. Okay, it's just a really tiny, look how small it is. Super tiny booklet. And it just has a list of each of the applications. There are ones that are obviously for very specific, like, well, they're all for body systems like we're talking about. But, you know, like if you have, for instance, a cold, there's a respiratory one that seems very logical and specific to what ailment is going on in your body. But there's other ones like a basic, or even just one of the emotional, there's ones that are specific for emotions. Those are really ones that are really good to use just on a maintenance every day, or not every day, every week basis. So for prevention, just general health, pick one you want to use, and you can even rotate them and just do one once a week, right? That would be a good pace. If you have an active issue, so say you have something that you're trying to get over, or something that you're trying to tackle, you could do 2 to 3 times a week, or even daily if you have an acute illness. So if you've got a virus that you're tackling, you could do it every single day, and you don't have to do the same one every day. You could say, well, this virus is affecting these different body systems. Like, say you have a respiratory virus, right? You might something that's down in your chest or giving you colds or something. You might do the respiratory, but then you might also choose to do an infectious disease that just targets viruses specifically, right? And then you might decide to do a digestive one, which I know sounds funny, but a lot of times you get the digestive system really is tied up in so many illnesses that if you do that, that's super supportive and healing a lot of the times. Anyway, exactly. Esther suggested, or having doing one for like hormone balance for PMS or things like that. Yeah, great. But like if you're having acute illness and you're doing something every day, you could be rotating between 3 instead of doing the same one every single day. Does that make sense? Totally up to you. These are just suggestions. But for a serious issue that didn't develop overnight. So if you have something that you're like, oh, I wonder if this would help my body to heal, something that you've been dealing with for years and years and years, you want to be patient as the oil works with your body to heal from the inside out. The rule of thumb that we always like to suggest is for every year you have suffered from an ailment or a condition, expect about a month of treatment. So I have a friend that I've been doing Symphony of Cells with. She's had some really chronic health issues over the last couple of years. And I've been going every week and giving her Symphony of Cells, and we've been doing it now for 3 months. It has taken a couple of months before she's really started to see real major results, where she's starting to feel like she's getting back to herself. But I've been doing it consistently for 2 or 3 months, but it's because she has been dealing with her symptoms and her health condition for multiple years, for almost 10 years now. So it's nice to even see that after 3 or 4 months, we're seeing movement and progress, even though it's not completely better, right? We're just being consistent and helping support her body in that healing. And she's seeing progress that never happened with just medications, but actually her body healing from the inside out. Isn't that exciting? I think that's exciting. That gives me so much hope. Something that we want to mention are some foundations that you want to consider when you're using this as a treatment or a way that you're going to use essential oils applying. Is you want to address the foundations that are the building blocks that you're using the oils on top of, right? So your nutrition and personal care practices every day play a huge role in the body's well-being. Okay, adding in essential oils may not yield as much of a result as you're hoping for if your diet is high in processed foods, sugars, artificial sweeteners, etc. If you're using lotions or perfumes or air fresheners or shampoos and other products that contain chemicals and fragrances, that also could be getting in the way, right? Because that is a toxic load that your body could be bearing. So when beginning any kind of essential oil protocol, it's normal to go through a kind of cleansing process, right? So sometimes when you start doing a symphony of cells on a regular basis, you want to start off slow if you're new to using oils. If you're used to using oils on a regular basis, just don't worry about it that much because your body's already kind of conditioned. But if you're brand new, don't use them every single day, that type of thing. You might want to start off slow and not do it too much, spread them out a little bit until you know how your body's going to handle it. But your body can, you're going to see, you want to see what your body can tolerate and work up to more often and more generous applications. But don't be scared to start. Just start, ease into it, right? Just start with less drops and not as close together of applications if you want, right? It's normal to experience some kind of cleansing. And it could be unnoticeable, or you could be experiencing like skin irritation, or maybe stomach upset or diarrhea, or maybe even joint pain or soreness. And these are temporary. We want to tell you about them, not to scare you, but to make sure that you know that could be just a sign that your body is purging something that was affecting what you're trying to address, right? So your body's trying to cleanse itself of an unnatural substance and toxins that it's been holding on to. And if you want to help this cleansing process happen faster, you can improve some of your daily habits by drinking water, with some lemon in it. Do 3 to 4 drops of lemon essential oil to water and drink it throughout your day. You can use other citruses too, but lemon is a really great one for gentle detoxing. Consider taking Zendocrine soft gels daily to cleanse your liver. Another daily foundation to build off of is obviously the things we have pictured here. Our Lifelong Vitality supplements, which is a nutritional foundation, and accompanied with your Terrazyme, which is our food enzyme supplement. And this helps your body to break down the food that you take in, and it allows it to be more absorbable. And then you couple that with PB Assist, which is your probiotic and helps create a balanced gut biomes for your digestive system to work properly. So using the Lifelong Vitality, taking the Terrazyme and PB Assist, that will keep your body functioning and moving things through properly, and you'll get through that cleansing if that even is something that comes up. It doesn't happen every time, but we just want to make sure you know so that you aren't worried that you're doing something wrong or that there's something to be concerned about that you're having a bad effect. Does that make sense? And when you want to, or when you're looking at the types of applications, like I said, there's 21 different applications. So you might be wondering, how do I know which one to use? So first, you just consider what is the top health concern that you're addressing? Like, why are you wanting to use, or what are you looking to solve right now, right? And so say, I know I keep using, well, I don't know, does someone have a health concern you want us to like use as the example, or someone just out of curiosity? Anybody? MS, okay, that's a great one. So if you want to look up MS, then you're going to think, what body system is affected by that condition? So there's 2 pieces that you get. This is an old one. The body system looks a little bit different than this, the new version of it. Mine's a little bit old. But you have the booklet of protocols, and then you have a chart of body systems. So you can look through the protocol booklet, and it's got in the booklet, I don't know if you can see this, there are example that says possible condition examples. So you can look through and find which one has that listed. But the other way you can look is to look at your body systems chart and look up possible conditions in the body system. So let's look up MS. I would assume it's in the nervous system. Yeah, so the nervous system it's listed under the nervous system. And then it gives you the suggested applications. So the suggested applications would be the number one would be the neurological application, purpose, solar, cellular, C2, chi, or inflammatory. Those are the names of the different applications. And you could just choose one. And one of the things you could do is go after it lists, just like how we use in our big books, our big Essential Life books, right? When it gives you the top 5 oils you use, you can just start with the first one, because it's always listed in order. So that's the same here. They're not listed in they're not listed in alphabetical order. It doesn't look like it. Looks like they're listed intentionally. So you just go ahead and you could just go ahead and go with the first one if you wanted to, or you could take your book and look up each of the applications and look at the possible conditions and see if other things like other symptoms or things like that may be, you feel like it addresses more of what you're dealing with, right? So going to the neurological one, using MS and it gives you the whole list. MS is one of the main ones. It has, tell me what are some of the symptoms you're dealing with MS? Can you give me more information? Chloe?
Yeah, it's my sister.
Okay.
She has a lot of digestive issues, lots of fatigue. She has nystagmus, so her eyes shake real bad.
Okay.
Those
Perfect.
are kind of main.
So the fact that you have a few more things to consider. So this one just says muscular sclerosis, but let's look at some of the other ones and see if there's another one that has any. Okay, so for instance, one of them that was listed here was solar, which also listed low energy, mental fatigue, and that was one of the other symptoms, in addition to it being MS is one of the things. So this one might be a good one to use, right? Like because it's not only listed under the neurological body system, but it kind of, you get a clue because of some of the symptoms that you're using or that you're experiencing, of which one might be the best one for you to use. Does that make sense? I don't know if I made that more complicated than it needed to be, but that's kind of how I choose. I kind of just take the clues, look at what it's listed and say, this one hits more buttons, right? And so that's what I'll start with. But then you could also, since that's a chronic situation, and you're going to be doing multiple a day or multiple a week or multiple, like on a regular basis, you could pick 2 or 3 and rotate them so that you're getting, you can pick something for the digestion, something for the mental fatigue or the, the sluggishness and fatigue, and then something that is supportive of specifically the nervous system and like pain and things like that. Does that make sense? So you find your related Symphony of Cells application that's listed in order of relevance on the body chart. If you don't know where to start, like if you don't know have like something severe or something that's glaring, but you're like, I really would like the body support. I would like to make sure that my body's in balance and everything's working. Then a good one to start with would be the digestive protocol or the forgiveness protocol. So write those down to have in your mind. And the reason is 80% of your immune system is in your gut. So tackling most conditions will begin with addressing the digestive health. Okay. And that's also one of the reasons why we say the foundation of using the Terrazyme and the PBSS2, right? And even possibly doing a cleanse of some kind. We talked about just what I mentioned when it came to the cleanse was not an active cleanse where you were initiating the cleanse, but having cleansing kind of side effects that are temporary. But if you are having cleansing side effects temporary, it may be an indication that you do need to go through a cleanse, and that would be a good foundation to do. And then you use the Symphony of the Cells as an ongoing support once you know that you've got your gut balanced. Long-term emotional issues are also a cause of a lot of physical ailments, and that's why the Forgive protocol is a great way to begin if you don't know where to start, because it can help you begin working through and letting go of trapped emotions that you've held on to sometimes our whole lives, even from childhood. So those are two that are really great to start with if you just have no idea where to start. And so here's just some tips on how, just some tips on application for the individual protocols, okay? So when you're doing a protocol, you're going to use 3 to 6 drops of each oil for a normal, healthy adult. For children or elderly people or people with really serious health conditions that you're not sure how they're going to react, you want to start out a little bit slower, or not, or like within children's case, they don't need more, and you would just do 1 to 3 drops on their of each oil. Okay. I suggest that you gather and organize your oils in order of that they're listed on the protocol. So let me show you again what it looks like. I know I keep holding this up and I can't see myself. All I can see is my screen. So I'm hoping you guys can see this. You can see they have typically 10 oils in a protocol, and they're in a specific order, and the order does matter. So what I usually do is I have this tray. This is my Symphony of Cells tray that I keep in my oil storage. I don't know if you can see that. And the reason why I have this tray is because it fits. It's plenty of room to fit the oils all 10 oils in order, and I can line them up and carry them from where I keep my oils to my bedroom or wherever else I'm going. If I'm going to a neighbor's house, like I said, I was helping my neighbor with Symphony of Cells treatments. I can go to her house and I can take my tray and I have them all in an order. And when I get ready to do it, I just go and take all of the lids off so that they're ready for me to use without having to stop and unload the lids and everything like that. I just put them in order, put them in a tray, and remove all the lids before I begin. Get comfortable. Start with the person lying on their stomach with their back and feet exposed. A good way to do that, especially especially if someone's around or people are around. An easy way to do that is put a robe on backwards or a button-down shirt on backwards, so that they can just put it on, and then when they lay down, you can just unbutton it or open it a little bit just so you can reach their spine, and have them take their socks and shoes off so you can reach their feet. Okay. And then you're just going to follow the symbols that are shown on the protocol there. And each symbol has a specific action. I'll show that to you on the next slide. But you apply frankincense on the shoulders and feet, on the shoulders first, and then the feet, and then follow the protocol as listed for a specific application you're using. You're going to rub the oil in a circular clockwise motion from the lower back to the base of the skull. So I just start at as low as you can on the spine, and just do clockwise circles until I get to the base of the skull, and then I'll do a little bit of massaging just at the base of the skull with the oil. And then whatever's left on your hands, you just take that and rub it on the feet. You don't have to apply additional oil. The only exception to that is I always put drops of frankincense directly on the feet, because you do that on the shoulders and you want to start out with a little bit, and frankincense is amazing for everything. So, and that's always, I don't know if there may be a protocol that, there is 1 or 2 that frankincense not. But most of the applications, frankincense is the first oil. Let's see, I only see 2 so far that don't have it. Anyway, so frankincense is pretty much always your first one. And use the oils in the specified order. Like I said, order does matter. Oils they've been studied for their therapeutic properties, and the chemistry of some oils will be enhanced by the oil that's used before. Or different oils are also known to be drivers that help other oils penetrate deeper. So protocols that end with peppermint, you want to follow them with like a wet, hot compress, and that will enhance the results. Or you can just have them jump in the shower afterwards. That also drives the oils in deeper. And that's all listed in the protocols too. Another tip is sometimes there are oils that are in the protocols like neroli or jasmine or rose that don't come, or that most people don't have in, because they're like jasmine and rose are really expensive as actual oils. So most of us have them in the touch version, which is the roller bottle version, because they're a more economical way to have those oils, access to those oils. And what you want to be careful of is not to roll the roller bottle directly on the spine, because what's going to happen is you've already rubbed other oils on the back, right? And so if you take the roller bottle and then go over the oils you already done, what have you done to the roller bottle? You've now contaminated your rose, or you've contaminated your jasmine with all the other oils. So what you're going to do instead is you're going to take the roller bottle and you're going to roll it on your unoiled hand. So the opposite hand that you haven't been using to apply. You're going to rub that on your other hand, or you can always take the top of your, let me see if I have a roller bottle here. So here's a roller bottle. This is a trick you can do. You can take the lid and take it off and just put it slightly on it and bend it. And it takes the roller lid, it helps you take the roller lid off. And you can do that way and use a dropper to get it out if you want, if you don't want to have to do it where you roll it on your hand. But we just never, ever want to make contact with the skin with your roller bottle on where you've already done Symphony of Cells. That makes sense? I asked you that makes sense, like you're going to answer me, but I'm sorry, I feel like I always say that. I apologize. But when there's, like I said, I've said this before, but when there's more than one protocol you can benefit from, you can consider alternating them or doing 2 to 3 different ones in a week to see what's most beneficial. If you don't have an oil that is listed in the protocol, that is okay. In the back of the book, I love this. I actually use this for multiple times when I think I don't have an oil, because it's such a good chart. So in the back of the book, there's a chart that is oil substitution list, and it gives you other oils that you can use if you don't have one on hand, which I love that. Ruth says that self-treatment requires roller bottles to touch the skin. That's interesting.
It's just like when you roll rose on yourself, or
Yeah. Well, but you just don't want to roll it on top of where I don't know how let's see, how would we problem solve that? Because I still wouldn't do that. You're gonna contaminate your rose if you do that. So what she's saying is, when you do it to yourself, like it's most ideal if you can do it in pairs. If you can have someone else rub it on your back, that's the best way to do it. But if you don't have anyone around, it's better to do it than nothing, right? And yeah.
Usually, if my recollection is, those self-application ones are the first 2 that you do, and so you just do it on a clean hand.
Okay. I was just going to say, thanks, Esther. I was going to say, how you do it yourself is you just reach down your back as far as you can. You don't necessarily do it up and down your whole back and on your feet. So you would still be able to use the same, like Esther was just saying, you just use your clean hand, or you just use all your applications with one hand. There is a tool that you can put roller bottles in that reaches further down your back. But I don't know that I would suggest doing that when you're layering oils, because you will contaminate all of your roller bottles to do that. I would, it's not just wiping the rollers, because you're rolling it. So what you're doing is you're getting oil on the roller ball, and then it's rolling how many times as you're rolling it up the back. And so it's blending with the oil inside your bottle. So it's not even just on the ball, you're actually taking oil from your back and blending it into the bottle. So it will contaminate your bottle.
Okay, so why in the world would they come up with such a idea to
Well, because you
utilize?
can use, you don't always, you don't only use those application tools when you're doing Symphony of Cells. Those are great when you're using just individual oils. Why would you, Symphony of Cells is only one way you do this. You're not always layering on top of each other, right? So when you're using, like say you have a fever and you're putting oils on your back, and you're using one of those tools that puts it on yourself, then that's perfect. You can put a roller directly on your skin because there's no other oil on you, right? But when you're layering oils, when you're doing it on oils on top of oils, you don't want to do that because you will contaminate the roller bottle with the other oils that are already on your skin. Do you understand the difference? And does that make sense to everybody? Did I answer your question, Ruth?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All
And
right,
thank
awesome.
you.
No
Yeah,
problem.
I can see where that would be a concern. I've already done it though, and I don't know.
Well, it's not the end
measuring
of the
my oil
world, but
bottle.
it's not the end of the world because we know the oils are all good. So it's not the end of the world. But if you want to make sure you're not mixing them or, then that's just a tip to not use.
Thank you, Annette.
No problem. These are the symbols. Here's a picture of the symbols guide that you would see in the book. So these symbols, they'll guide you through the application step by step to make it quite simple to do. In fact, it's so simple that even young kids can do it. We have some people on our team whose kids just love to give them Symphony of Cells. One of my partners, her little boy is like, I think he's like 11 now. I think he just turned 11, but he's been doing it since he was like 7 years old. And anytime someone's sick, he's like, I'll give you a Symphony of Cells, and he can pull out the book and follow the directions because it's just these little images and they have very simple instructions. If you can't, there's a couple, they're all pretty straightforward. Like apply a carrier oil to the back of the spine. That is just meaning apply the coconut oil. Allow an individual to smell the oil. That's just handing it to the person you're giving it to, letting them smell the oil as you're rubbing it in. Applying over the liver or the heart. We all know where our heart is. If you can't remember where your liver is, I can't remember ever. I think it's the opposite of your stomach. So if your stomach's on your left, I think it's the same spot on your right, but don't quote me. I always have to look it up because there's only there's only like one that I think has that on it. So most of the time it's just simply on the back, the feet, and the smell. These are the ones that these first 4 right here are the ones you see the most. And this oil to the neck and shoulder area is always the first one with frankincense. And then they have put this one, apply oil to your hand when it's a roller bottle, one that most people have only in roller bottles. And if it's a protocol that has this symbol on it, then it's one. Oh, thanks, Janet. It is on the liver's on the right side. But if it has this E for emotional support, it means it is one of the emotional protocols that it has specific applications, but it's also a good one to make sure you know that it's one of the ones that is good for emotions. And then this one is often at the end, this symbol, and this means follow it with heat or moisture or a warm compress or something to intensify and drive in the oils. Some of my favorite ways to do it is just have one of those long rice bags to just put, heat up in the microwave and put it on your spine. Or another one is to just get in the shower and let that hot water drive it in. Let's see. So Boyd Truman is involved with doTERRA, like I said, but to make his protocols accessible to anyone using essential oils, he made the book have all-inclusive by using generic names of doTERRA's proprietary blends. So here's a cheat sheet that you can take a screenshot of if you want. This is a good thing to have. So when you see something on, like here's just an example of the basic protocol, it says massage blend. What that means is that's referring to Aroma Touch. And if you look at Aroma Touch, the subtitle says massage blend. But a lot of times, even I've been using oils for 12 years now, and I never can remember every single one. I know some of them, but I always have to refer to it. So I love this little quick guide. If you cannot remember which one it is, I've even gone into my book and written them down. So I know, sometimes I've written it, crossed it off and written the doTERRA real blend name so that I don't have to look it up. But if you do have to look it up, if you just Google like doTERRA massage blend, it'll come up with the name. And so you don't ever worry that you're not going to know which one it is. It's pretty simple. In summary, Symphony of Cells application is just a simple, effective way to get those oils into your body so that they can go to work and help your body to heal from the inside out and address whatever it is that you're dealing with or that you're wanting to support in being the healthiest version of you. There are some resources that we want to recommend. You can, there are free online courses that are taught by Boyd Truman, just an introduction to Symphony of Cells. And here is, if you want to write this down or screenshot this, it's you can go to that website. And then you can purchase, we don't sell these, obviously this has nothing to do with us, and it doesn't have anything, and doTERRA doesn't sell these either. But they're just such a handy tool, and they're something that I go to so often when my family is sick. It's one of the things that really has turned corners for us. And I'd love if any of you guys are on, if anyone on has had any experience with and want to share an experience that they've had using Symphony of Cells, I'd love to hear. But you can get this set of the body systems chart and the application book of with all 21 protocols in it. It's like $16.95 normal. And I actually looked it up today and it's on sale right now for $14.95. So if you want to get one of these, super economical and a really great tool to have in your essential oil tools at home. So last chance to go ahead and take a screenshot of this. Has anybody had a good experience or as any kind of experience that you're willing to jump on camera and share when it comes to using Symphony of Cells? Yeah, really good.
Okay, so a couple of months ago, I was really struggling, super heavy-hearted, just really unable to forgive myself for some mistakes I had made. And I reached out to Rochelle and she said, would you like to come over and I can do some Symphony of Cells for you? And I hopped on it right there and then. And my husband just happened in the door and I said, I need you to drive me down because I was in no condition to drive. I was in such a state, it was just not going to happen. And after that session, things just shifted and changed and moved around so rapidly. I was pretty impressed. So yes,
Wow.
love Symphony of Cells.
I have had that same type of experience with illnesses, like where I sometimes, when you're taking care of other people, it's easy to be like problem solving, but when it's yourself, sometimes you just let things go and you don't take care of yourself as well as you do, like your kids, for instance. Any other mom do that? But sometimes if I get a cold or something like that, I've had it when I've gotten a cold and I thought it wasn't going to be anything, and I've treated it like normal, like I would normally, and then it started. It's taken off and more than I thought, and I was like, oh my gosh, nothing seems to be touching it. And my husband mentioned to me, well, let's do a Symphony of Cells. I'm like, oh, why didn't I think of that, And so I had let him do a respiratory on me. And then I took a shower. And by morning, it was like night and day difference. And it was like my normal stuff I would typically do, just didn't feel like it was making any progress, And it was just so impactful. It was felt miraculous. And I just love that it was so simple and I should have thought of it earlier. So I would have not had to go through so much. Anybody else had any other?
I have a quick one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, when I first did the Symphony of the Cells, I had been on LLV and doing really a lot better with my health. And I really have some interesting health concerns in my life. And so I did the maximum one. And I'm 64 years old. And I was just like going to get this. I don't know. I just didn't have them hold back. So the gal that was doing it, we were like 8 drops here, there, everywhere. And after my application, I felt fine. And the next day, I woke up in the morning and kind of started, feeling that thrown under the bus feeling. So it was really powerful to me. It took me a little soak bath and a little bit of nausea to get through it. There was just definitely a lot of shifting going on in my body, but I had the feeling a couple of days later, maybe about 5 days later, to go ahead and go ahead with a smaller protocol, and I did, and I have never gone back to that, feeling. I've just continued to improve. So I'm talking about helping with, the maximum.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of thing that will help individuals shift and heal that have fought with illness for many, many years. So I love Boyd Truman. I think he's amazing. I think he's one of the bold science medical people in our generation that is literally turning science on its tail. So I'm just so grateful for it. Just
I know. I wish I could tell his stories, because he has some miraculous stories of things that have happened by these kind of applications. I want to share Jamie's here, unless Jamie, you're able to come on mic and share what you shared in the chat. Are you? Where you can just tell us, or should I read your chat? Maybe she's not where she can talk. Oh, she can't be live. Okay, so Jamie just shared, she said, I just had an experience. Yesterday, my brother had a commercial pressure tank fall and pin him. He was in so much pain last night. I asked if I could apply some oils. I did a Symphony of cells and also applied other oils directly to the swelling and injuries. It worked really well, enough that he asked me to do it again and how to apply the oils himself. That's amazing. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Oh my gosh. Wow. I hope he's okay. And then continues to heal. I just know that it's just so amazing to have. Chloe, did you have something to share? Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I was just gonna jump in. I
Yeah.
just wanted to share a couple weeks ago, we all had COVID and I decided to try it. I didn't even know how to do it. So I was flipping pages back and forth, but we did the respiratory one and we were giggling the whole time because we couldn't smell a thing. But we noticed even the congestion and stuff helped. It helped all that. And so even if it says to smell it and you're just laughing and you can't smell a thing, it still helped, clear our coughs away a little bit. And, our noses weren't as full or whatever. And so that was all.
You know what? I love that you just shared that, because don't be scared. I know I gave you lots of information, but I think the key part to remember when it comes to Symphony of Cells is the order. There's not anything super special about how you're putting it on, but the order I think is the magic. The oils themselves and the order that you put them on is really the magic. And because, like how I said in the class, some oils are meant to make other oils stronger, so the order that you put them in, they really do support each other in a specific way. And some oils drive and some oils, they just do different things. And when they do them one at a time, your body's able to take those messages one at a time and start applying them. It's like a conductor, the name of it is really so perfect, right? So I love everybody's stories. Thank you all for coming and joining in. And I hope everyone that's watching the recording and everybody who's here takes a chance to give somebody a Symphony of Cells or ask someone to give them a Symphony of Cells. I'm going to pop up the last screen. Well, not the last screen. Yeah. I'm going to go one back or here take a snapshot of this, because here's the basic application. This is just just 4 steps. This is a great one for kids. This is a great one to support you from not getting sick, things like that. Just a really simple one. My challenge to you is to try this. Just do a Symphony of Cells application on somebody in your home or in your family, or have someone do it back to you, and just experience it. Don't be scared to try it. It's so much fun, and take advantage of that sale that's going on right now. I don't know how long that's going to be on sale, but they're $14.95. So screenshot this, and here's those websites where you can get it. And everyone have a great night. Thank you so much for coming.